Catholic Church north of Edmonton destroyed in fire.
Here's a summary of the article.
Edmonton. Firefighters were called to a burning Catholic church north of Edmonton around 3 a.m. on Wednesday. As of 6 a.m., crews were still on scene extinguishing hotspots at St. John Baptist Parish, but the Roman Catholic Church on Morinville's main street had been badly damaged and fire departments from neighboring communities had been called in to help. The fire was already fully involved from the basement when the first fire crews got here. They entered the building, but there was already collapse occurring on the inside of the church, so they backed out, and it's been a defensive or exterior firefight ever since. Ian Bushell, the town's general manager of infrastructure and community services, told CTV News Edmonton. It's one of the largest buildings. It's very old construction, so an awful lot of wood, so it went very quickly and it was a very difficult fire to fight, he said, thanking crews who came to help from Legal, Bon Accord, Gibbons, Sturgeon County, St. Albert and Edmonton. Across the country, several Catholic churches have burned to the ground or been vandalized after hundreds of bodies were found at former residential school sites in BC and Saskatchewan. A statue outside Edmonton's Polish Catholic Church was vandalized with red paint. Certainly the timing is unfortunate given what is happening in the country at the moment and it being a Catholic church, but again, I'll let the fire investigator get into that properly, was all Bushell would say.
This post received a score of 34,000, with an upvote ratio of 90%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
This is going to get really ugly. Especially as more and more bodies of children are found in unmarked graves.
There's a church in Saskatchewan that promised to raise $25 million to donate to Indigenous groups to make amends and reparations for the damage they caused. After taking years to reach $4 million, they abandoned their promise and built a brand new $32 million church instead beside the very reserve that they promised to help. Skip to part 2.
Yay, I have a feeling this will keep happening the more unmarked children's grave they find. Going to be like Norway in the early to mid-90s.
Oh wow. Had no idea. How the black metal scene in Norway led to the arson of over 50 churches.
Greater than through church burning and black metal music we will reawaken the Norwegians' feelings of belonging to Odin, so true.
This comment section is why Castaway's ending would have been better if he had just stayed in the island.
I would have liked to watch how he slowly developed his skills. They skipped over the best part.
Netflix's next original series.
Honestly, that would be genius. It's a perfect concept for a procedural story. Each new skill is its own episode, and people could learn something about survival while watching.
The primitive technology guy was making a TV show, but the TV show people wanted to make it their way, so he's looking at other options. Check out his YouTube channel. It's really interesting stuff. No talking, just doing. He went from clearing a spot in the bush to begin a camp all the way up to smelting iron using nothing but his bare hands and the tools he could create from his surroundings.
I was wondering what happened to him. He hasn't put out a video in a while.
He created a fleshlight and was never heard from again.
Don't ever change. Reddit. LOL.
I am Indigenous person from Canada. I really don't think this is the answer for dealing with this mess. I think there are better ways to deal with this issue rather than attacking or lashing out. Actions like this automatically puts people in a us versus them mindset. Which means one of them has to win, or whatever. When really it should be a discourse between the government, church and Indigenous peoples. You don't change minds by attacking people. Then again, rational discourse never happens with a highly politicized issue.
Sounds like you're talking about a restorative justice approach, and I couldn't agree more. Something like that could probably do a lot of good in this type of situation.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.